Hey VIPs, it's Alexisjoy from Alexisjoyvipaccess, and today I'm with the musically inclined and multi-talented
Marty Shannon.
And we're here today at your recording studio. Very fun. Now, congrats on all the success with your career.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, at what point in time did you realize you wanted to become a musician?
That kind of came about when I was pretty young. I noticed that my mom, especially, the way that she took to music and how it reminded her of her parents who had passed away and her grandparents, and it was mostly during Christmas when the Christmas music would come into play. And it just was like, how can music do so much just to one person with just sound and words? And really young, I was like, that's something I would really like to explore. And that was before I even know how to play an instrument or sing or anything. So I just kind of down the line was like, yeah, I mean, this is like a superpower. I'd love to be able to do that. So, I got into music really heavily. I learned the guitar first before I even started singing, and I noticed that as soon as I was able to play a song, what that could do to people, and it's like the response was insane, and I was addicted ever since.
Excellent. That's very interesting. Now, how would you describe your music?
As far as genre goes, I don't know. And every time anyone asks, I really don't have a way to describe it. It used to be very soul, blues, and I think that's just because that's how I sing. But as far as the kind of music that I write, I try to just write anything that sounds cool or is interesting to listen to, or it kind of makes you dance a little bit. So, I mean, I'll write a hip-hop song that I sing on, and it's definitely not in my typical genre, but anything, jazz, rock, hip-hop, I will try to write anything that I can that would makes me feel good or other people. So
That's wonderful, and that's what makes your music so unique and wonderful to listen to. You're welcome. Now, what inspires your music?
I think it starts the same way for a lot of male musicians. It's girls, and that was, it is true that music is therapeutic and it is a release, so I tend to try to write my problems into my music to get it out. But nowadays it's just kind of anything that is important or not even important. I will write something that, like, about LA and the struggle of pursuing your career, and then on the next page I'll write something about a jacket. Like, it's just anything, that. And I do still try to make the song about a jacket have meaning, and maybe have a parallel to, like, somebody you care about and how it keeps you warm and kind of stuff like that. So, anything that gets people to think, I say.
And some terrific symbolism as well with the jacket.
Sure.
Now, you've performed at many iconic venues, including the House of Blues, the Viper Room, Whiskey A Go-Go, the Roxy, and more. What is the feeling like for you being able to perform live in front of all your fans?
Performing live is my favorite thing by far. I used to play any place publicly I could just to kind of show off a little bit. As soon as I figured out I could play the guitar well enough for people not to judge me, I was just sitting at Starbucks playing inside, even though they would say, "Hey, sir, you can't really do that." I would be out, on the corner, anywhere that people would just in passing listen. And that eventually developed into people actually wanting to come and see me. And it truly is intoxicating to have people, applaud for you or shout for you. And I love it, every single second of it. It's my favorite thing in the world.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you also have an upcoming EP called Literally. Can you tell us what fans can look forward to hearing on your EP?
I wanted it to be a little different than the first one. The first one did well enough that I could do a second one, and I don't know. I feel maybe I'm kind of cheating a little bit and not giving people what they wanted, because the first one did so well. You think maybe I should continue on that, but this one's going to be a little different and kind of show that I'm not just a guy who sings about having his heart broken several times. There's going to be some influences of rock in there, some even a little bit of dubstep sounds in there.
Wow.
So I don't know. I try to make this a little bit more mainstream, I guess, more listenable, I suppose, to more people.
Magnificent, and I know that I'm very much looking forward to hearing your EP, and I know all your fans are as well, so we'll definitely stay tuned. Now, what is your favorite song off your EP, Before the Love Goes, and why?
Well, that's hard to say. My favorite song that I did on that EP was No Good, and that's mostly because I wrote and recorded that entire thing myself. I played every instrument, I did all the harmonies and everything, and I did it in the studio. And then I recorded all the other songs in an actual like professional radio quality studio. And what you do is you say, hey, I've got all these tracks. Can we re-record them here so they sound more professional? And the producer is like, well, these already sound really good. You don't need to re-record that. And he said it especially for No Good. So I was really proud of myself for recording an entire EP with just kind of very minimal equipment. And it came out really well. But that song is just so catchy to me. It really speaks to how I was with before I moved out to LA. And even though I knew that most things, not just girls, but situations were no good for me, I still continued on in that path anyway. And I think that a lot of people can really empathize with that and sympathize with that. So yeah, No Good.
Very cool, and it's great to listen to, but also so inspiring as well. So your music is just great. Now, we're here at your studio, so you also built your own fully functioning recording studio. What inspired you to do so?
Well, I guess you could say I'm cheap. Recording is so expensive and mixing is so expensive, and it really is difficult for the average musician to get their music out there. And because it's more accessible nowadays with the digital age, you coming in and computers being able to do everything, but it's still expensive. So instead of every single time I wanted to go into a studio and record and pay or get it mixed and pay for that, I just said, I'll just build my own studio. Started off with a computer and a little M-Box, and then it slowly developed into a radio quality, fully functioning studio. And now it's kind of like my hangout. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want in here. And it paid dividends in the end, and slowly but surely going to turn it into recording other people and writing with other people here. So it's not just for me. But right now it's my own personal little heaven.
Wonderful, and it radiates such cool vibes too. Very relaxing.
Thanks.
Now, if you could collaborate with any other musician, who would it be?
Oh man, Jason Mraz is a huge influence on me. John Mayer too. I think that what those guys have done with their careers is really impressive. Just going from, a lot of musicians have a tendency when they become successful with their radio songs, they don't really do much else. They stay in that path. But Jason Mraz, John Mayer both have just said, I'm going to use this success and do what I want with it. So I'm really impressed by them, inspired by how they write and what they write about, and one of those guys for sure. And they're really nice guys. They're really cool dudes, and they do a lot of humanitarian stuff. So they just seem like fun men to hang out with. So one of those guys for sure.
Yeah, they're very down to earth, just like you. And I look forward to hopefully seeing that happen one day. I could definitely picture it, but I look forward to seeing that happen one day.
Me too.
Now, what other upcoming projects are you working on that your fans can look forward to?
Well, after Literally comes out, hopefully in early October, I'm thinking that's going to come out. I plan on releasing singles, the usual, have a 1-song single or maybe even a 2-song EP come out a few months after that. I'm writing with a bunch of people, a few people from Disney and Nickelodeon. So hopefully just to get my name on a couple things, and really anything to say, hey, I can do more than just make music and drive it all back to my music. The goal is to drive everything back to my music. I could stand out on the street with a chicken suit, but
but it has to bring back to your music.
Correct. So that's really it. I mean, look for some singles to come out, and then look for my name on some other people's music. So.
Excellent. Very great. And I know your fans can look forward to that. They're definitely excited for that because I know I am. Now, speaking of your fans, lastly, if you could bring out one message to all of them, what message would that be?
It's hard doing what you want to do with your life. It's true that nothing comes easy, but if you just kind of have a moment where you say, well, what else am I going to do? I'm either going to sit here and continue on what I'm doing, which is clearly not making you happy because you're not doing what you want to be doing. Otherwise, you wouldn't have dreams for something else. Or you can just kind of say, why I'm only going to be here for another few years, on Earth. That is, why not just do what you want to do with it? Because really, you don't get a second chance. You're not going to have another shot at this. So get up, pack your things up, go where you have to go, do what you have to do, and start today, or not tomorrow, today. Start today. Do what you want to do. Just kind of like me. I packed my whole life up in a car and drove out to LA. I had no clue what I was doing, but it's working out. And so if I can do it, anybody can do it.
That is a wonderful and magnificent message. Definitely so inspiring to everyone watching. Now, you also have a performance. Can you just fill us in about that?
Yeah. Now that the EP is finished and it's in the process of being released, I'm going to get back in the show circuit. The next show that I have is September 7th in Universal City at the John Lovitz Comedy Club. I'm not doing comedy. I'm doing music. I would like to do comedy someday, but that's something else. That's at 7 p.m. It is ages 13 and up, I believe. So if you're under 21, you just buy soda or something. And then after that, Room 5, I got stops at Hotel Cafe and House of Blues again, and all that will be updated, Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff. So look for that. Excellent.
You have a lot going on. Now, if you could just bring out all your social media so all your fans can make sure to stay connected with you.
Yeah, it's on Twitter, Marty_Shannon. There is a regular Marty Shannon, but he is kind of a jerk, so don't follow him.
It's not him.
It's not me. Facebook, it's Marty Shannon fan page. And Instagram is the same as Twitter, Marty_Shannon. So yeah, follow me. I'm a funny guy.
Stay tuned with him. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me, Marty. I had a great time, and I wish you continued success with your career. Congrats on everything.
Thank you so much. Thank you.